Welcome back, everyone. FloTrack podcast. Hope you enjoyed the new music there, chosen by our new musical director, Gordon Mack.
Hey, if you don't like it, we'll take submissions for new ideas.
Yeah.
But we've been getting copyright flagged on the music, so we
Despite it not being, to our knowledge, an issue.
No, it wasn't. We own the rights to that music, but YouTube, I guess probably some guy in a random country's like, that's mine, and then boom, it's yours.
It's gone.
So, but this is YouTube's music. So if YouTube copyrights this, that makes no sense because we're using it from YouTube.
Yeah. Set the mood. That's sure.
You
I like it. It was very record setting. Before we start, do you want to talk about the desk or no? What's on your desk?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Then I'll give you, remember 60 seconds of Sixers? You get 60 seconds of Eagles. Go.
Fly Eagles fly. My birds are going to the Super Bowl. I might go. I was talking to my brother last night.
40 seconds.
We're debating whether or not we're going to buy Super Bowl tickets. Should I or should I not spend thousands of dollars on Super Bowl tickets?
Yeah, you should spend it. 20 seconds.
Really? That's has not been 40 seconds. You have a really bad internal clock.
10 seconds.
You're really bad at timing your kick, clearly.
I had no kick.
No.
That was the key.
Go Birds. I know everyone's going to say the win is fraudulent because the Niners were hurt, but a win's a win.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you play Joe Burrow or eighth string quarterback, you're going to the Super Bowl. So
there you are.
The Eagles are going.
Devin Allen's going. That's what you should have led with.
Devin Allen is going to the Super Bowl. Yes. I was talking to someone at the bar.
Find the track angle. Always find the track angle.
Rule
101 of track and field podcasting.
Always find the track angle.
Yeah.
So there's two angles. One, we're one injury away from Devin Allen being a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So if someone gets hurt in next week of practice, Devin Allen's going because he's the next one in line in the practice squad. Number two, should I try to get a press credential and do an interview with Devin Allen?
Yeah, and you only ask track questions.
Yeah. Or I can ask all the athletes, all the Super Bowl athletes, hey, can you run faster than Fred Curley? Or these people want to race you, and try to get people to sign contracts saying post Super Bowl you will race these 5 athletes.
I just think you'd put a ton of media requests in for Devin Allen. I think that would be funny. Right? Because they're just Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
This one guy keeps requesting Devin Allen every 20 minutes. He wants to ask him about track. I don't know what's going on.
The thing is, we do have so we're Flow Sports, and we do have a network of sports. One of our sports is rugby, Flow Rugby.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mailata, he's the first rugby player to play in the Super Bowl.
So then you put requests in for him, too.
So then I can get rugby questions from him.
He's not on the practice squad, though, right?
No, he's the starting left tackle.
Right,
he's
so that's
legit.
Would be a little bit more normal to put in a media request for him.
But I'm going to get my Mailata think piece and my Devin Allen think piece and my Patrick Mahomes hit piece, and then we're good.
Hit piece. Mahomes had a bunch of sports. I guess no track, though, right? In high school?
I don't know. Jalen Hurts played track. Played track.
Wow. You just get this out of here.
Hey, no, that's signed. That's signed.
By who?
Brandon Graham.
Okay, no.
No, dude, put it back.
You play track, you have to pay a penalty. All right, let's start. Let's go through top 5 performances of the week. Tons of...
No, hold on. I can't do this podcast without
your helmet?
I feel
you still have your Nick Foles book up there.
I feel uneven. Give me the helmet back. Please. I'm sorry I said play track. I thought it was funny.
No, you messed up.
Okay.
You're slacking. You watch too much football.
Okay, here we go.
Tighten up a little bit. All right.
I also watched track this past weekend.
Yeah.
Luckily, there was no track on Sunday. I got to save Sunday for football, but track Saturday and Friday. And Friday night,
Friday afternoon, basically.
Yeah.
A couple hours after we got done recording, it was holy crap with the men's 3K. But we'll start first with the men's 5. We're going to run down some of the top performances of the weekend. So, of course, I'm thinking about Woody Kincaid running 12:51. 12:51 in this 5,000 to absolutely smash the American record. Did it courtesy of a 26 and change final 200. Looked like he was out of this race. Looked like this was going to be the Klecker show, which is what we thought. Keep in mind also, Kincaid, between training groups right now, not with Bowerman currently. So he was not getting a lot of attention pre-race and comes in and runs one of the fastest indoor 5,000s in history.
Yeah, and if you watch the last few laps of this race, Klecker looked like he was struggling, but still closed well. Klecker was still 12:54. So Klecker still runs a great race. But you think if Klecker's not in this race, does Woody have that motivation to really wind up in his final, 300, 500 meters to close in 26 seconds in the final 200 to get to 12:51. I think Klecker was like this.
He's a rabbit.
His presence was like a rabbit for the American record.
Yeah, he helped pull him along.
How many people have a rabbit through basically 4,800 meters? Well, 4,900 meters, basically.
Well, this is what we've seen, though, from other time trial type races at BU or other Bowerman type races where the rabbit would be more intentional, but they'd literally step off with a K to go. This was legit competition between two people not on the same club. But I think you're right. It helps squeeze a couple extra seconds out of Kincaid for sure. But just the fact that he was in the mix and there and able to utilize his kick was the big story.
Prior to this race, we were putting the over-under at 13:05.
Yeah.
And you were going with the over, thinking, they might just run into 13:0 something or 13 teens. That's very different type of race than attempting to break an American record, especially this early. I mean, Grant Fisher broke the record 12:53 at this meet, but not this exact weekend. It was later on in the season. So for Woody to do it still in January, he's clearly fit. And this is what I thought. It is kind of ironic or a weird situation where the first race for Woody Kincaid after potentially, he's not 100% leaving Bowerman. He still said he might go back, but he's looking at his options. He's been training with Mike Smith's pro athletes for the past month or so. His first race, he goes out and breaks his potentially former teammate's record, Grant Fisher, on that track. This is definitely one of those situations. It's like, you go through a breakup and then you get your shit together, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa. Do you think Jerry's like, because apparently Woody was quoted saying like, oh, you're going to throw away your career if you leave.
Yeah.
That quote looks kind of bad when throwing away your career is running 2 seconds faster than any American has ever run in an indoor 5K.
Whoa, that quote also is ultimate motivation.
Yeah.
That's like out of a movie. I didn't think people actually talked like that. Like that's very, I'm going to motivate the main character by telling him I don't believe in him. But in this case, the main character is already one of the fastest guys in the country. I thought it was, the timing was just like, okay, this is a statement. I don't know. I mean, if you're working with Mike Smith, I'm assuming you get access to the Mike Smith pep talks?
Probably.
Right? So is that responsible for a couple seconds? What we know about Schumacher's training, which isn't like a ton because he doesn't talk a lot, but it is very rigid, right? It's like he's got, which I get it. And you kind of get a Belichick vibe from him, right? Like, this is our program.
That's what we do.
The Patriot way. People are going to come in. They're going to work hard. But I don't bend from this system that I have. Okay. And it obviously led to great results for a lot of runners. But it's not going to be for every runner. And it's not going to be for every runner their entire career. And it feels like Kincaid identified something. And maybe, it was precipitated by the group moving to Eugene. But he identified something of, hey, maybe I can tweak a little bit here, a little bit there. We're dealing with such small margins, right? If Woody Kincaid runs 12:56 in this race, it's still a huge, and Klecker runs 54 and beats him, it's still a huge result, right? But we're not talking about the Woody Kincaid statement race. So a few seconds here, a few seconds there, a couple tweaks, changing a workout there, getting in a slightly different headspace, it makes all the difference in the world at this level. And sometimes that's all it takes. I'm surprised Schumacher said that too, because I feel like it's almost in a way not giving himself enough credit as a coach, being like, hey, I set you up, I built you for success. Like, wherever you go, man, you're going to be great, right? He sets it up as just like, there's only one path, to success for you at this point. And it's continuing on this program. It's like, no, he's experienced. Woody knows what a workout is. Woody knows how to race, clearly. Like, he knows
how to do mile of repeats.
Right. Or it was tempo runs, right?
Okay.
Like the double tempo runs. I read that in John's article afterwards, which is like the difference in training. But I mean, part of it's probably just like a little bit of a mentality shift. Part of it's having a fresh start. Part of it's maybe having a tiny bit of extra motivation and just having a different routine. Like, all that stuff matters. But yeah, I'm surprised. He just put like a bulletin board up for him in his bedroom and then nailed on the most motivational statement he could say by saying, this is not going to be good for your career.
Now, do you think there's going to be a response from like a Grant Fisher this indoor season? We don't know yet if Fisher's even going to run indoors. He's not signed up to go in any of the big like Millrose, New Balance Grand Prix type meets. There has been thoughts that maybe potentially the Bowerman guys would run at BU, maybe at Valentine or that BU Last Chance, end of February. But there's going to be definitely now a little bit of eyes on the performances of mainly Grant Fisher, because he's like, all right, former teammate goes out, breaks your record. What's going to be your response? They're probably going to underplay and be like, it's not about that. We're just focusing on making a team and doing
I'm sure they're still
the
friends
right process. And they're still friends.
I mean, Grant's literally like one of the nicest people.
Oh, yeah. But it is kind of just, it was
surprising.
It's funny. I think it's funny. It's like guy leaves, breaks the record. Well, first race back.
It reminds me of when Ritz switched coaches and then he broke the 5,000 record like 2 months later or something like that. I mean, it's a very quick turnaround. You're like, oh, who gets the credit, the new coach or the old coach? Yeah. It's like, well, maybe they had it in them all along, right? And there was a little bit of improvement by being in a new situation, or maybe it took some of the pressure off. Like, to me, I think that's part of it. Maybe some of it's just like, because we were saying Clucker. Yeah. And why were we saying Clucker? I mean, the really only reason we were saying Clucker was consistency, and we knew he was with the same group, and On was doing really well, and all this other stuff. But it's like, Woody's the guy who keeps making teams. Woody's the guy with the ridiculous kick.
And I did say, didn't I say Woody is the guy who's like living on like the third floor with the chance to go up to like the skyscraper ceiling? Like he has that highest ceiling, but Woody still can put up a few duds. But when he doesn't put up a dud, he puts up an American record, because Woody's ceiling is so much higher than I think a lot of these other top guys.
Because the kick? Is that
because of his kick.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like,
you got to be in it to use the kick.
You got to be into, and you're not always going to be in it. So there might be a time when Woody could have a great kick, but he's not in it, so you don't see the value there. But man, Woody now, like, who you taking straight up in like a 5K in the summer? You taking Grant or you taking Woody?
I mean, I'm still rolling with Grant, because ultimately this was still time trial type setup.
True.
But I'm gonna bring up something Drew Hunter said at the Armory over the weekend when he was asked, you have 15 or 5, what are you going for? He's like, the 5K team's impossible to make. So he's going to the 1,500 because the 5K team's impossible to make. And then you dig in, you're like, oh yeah, let's see. They just had a 12:51 and a 12:54 in BU, which doesn't even take into account Fisher, doesn't even take into account Chalimo, right?
Doesn't take about Cooper Tier if he decides to do it.
Right.
Doesn't take about Abdihamid Nur.
I think you're going to see a mass exodus to the 1,500 with people who are able to do it. And I think anybody who can find their way into the 10K is going to be super happy that they locked up that spot. But the 5K people and the 10K people, by and large, are the same. So if Woody Kincaid's in 12:51 shape, what is he in 10K shape? I mean, he's going to be fine, right? And now he seems – here's the thing, because I know Kincaid had a lot of you saying, oh, yeah, I'm not sure like where I'm going to go. I mean, doesn't this sort of answer the question?
Yeah.
Where you're going to go? Unless he's like forced for some reason to like pick a lane. But don't you stay where you're at?
Yeah.
I mean, you go to Nur or whoever, and Nur and Grijalva, right? Is that who you're training with? Like, you're my new buds.
Let's go.
Yeah. I don't know if you signed up for this, but I just ran 12:51. So I'm going to keep literally everything the same. I just like these changes late in the career. We always, whenever they happen, they usually don't go that well, but I think they don't go that well because the athlete's already trending in one direction. Maybe he preemptively made his decision before he was trending, and it was a good move for him.
That wasn't the only record that went down. There also was a 3K record, which you thought they were going to run in the high 730s, let alone low 730s, let alone 720s. Yared Nuguse destroys Rupp's American record, runs 728. He didn't even look like he was going that fast. Sometimes Neguse has a weird stride where it looks like he's running slower than he actually is, but he ends up closing, in about 27, 28 seconds there in his final lap, and destroys this BU record and American record. And you think about watching anytime you're breaking sub 730, that is special. That's basically 4-minute mile pace for every single lap. And he did it in classic fashion, and you got to look at it. All right, Nuguse now runs 728. Is he Like, is Nuguse over Hawker right now?
In the 15?
And over Cooper? In the 15? I know it's not 1,500. It's a 3K.
Yeah.
But 728, pretty damn good.
I think if you told me the U.S. final was in, a month or something, I'd go with Neguse. Yeah. But there's still too much there. And I also think 3K might be his best event.
It might be his, like, how someone's really good in the 600, but not necessarily the 4 or the 8.
Yeah. Now, he's also good in the 15. Has made 1,500 teams and run really fast. But this just might be a wheelhouse event for him because we've
kind of like Ryan Hill.
We saw how, and he medaled at World Indoors when they had it. We saw how good he was, Nuguse, DMR, like putting himself in these, uncomfortable positions. And tactically, he's really smart as well, too. But he also was good in cross. So that trends more to longer stuff, but his kick is so good. So this might be his ideal, his perfect distance. He does have the superpower, though, right, of seeming like he's not going fast while going very fast. Andrew Weeding had that superpower. Matthew Centrowitz has that superpower, right? Like, I remember standing by a track in Albuquerque, University of New Mexico, watching Central work out and just like made like no noise, like just so smooth, so efficient, but also like he didn't even look like he was working. That's kind of what I'm reminded of with Nuguse. Weeding, same thing. Well, Weeding was super tall, right? That was part of it. To come out of the gate this fast, though, with both of these, and not just him, right? With Drew Bosley, with Sam Atkin, who set the British record, right? It's the story of BU, really, is what we're talking about here, not just the story of a couple fast performances. Nuguse, though, always seemed like a guy who was just scratching the surface. Be it at Notre Dame, when he ran fast times, but what was the priority indoors?
Just qualifying.
DMR, right? Yeah. His high school career was good, but he wasn't one of those guys everybody was talking about. Wasn't one of those sub-4 guys. And then he makes a team, gets hurt before Tokyo. Last year, what was the issue? Illness? No, he was just out of them. He got like 11th at USA. So something was off about him. I think another injury. Like he always seems like he's almost there. You put him in this group where he's surrounded by absolute studs from all directions, right? Between Mario Garcia-Romo to Klecker to Hoare, like all different countries, all different event types, all different backgrounds. And he just seems to be thriving. The question is going to be, all right, consistency, right? Can he stack another one and another one?
And health.
Yeah, which is a code for health, basically, right?
Consistency, it's code for health?
Well, because if you stay healthy, you're going to put up consistent
when a doctor says, he doesn't say this is going to hurt. They say you're going to feel a little pressure. And pressure means pain.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you tell a person, like, this is going to be painful, or they're going to, like, get scared, but if you're like, it's just going to feel a little pressure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then it kind of taps into your sense of, like, strength. Like, why'd you start crying? Well, the doctor put too much pressure on me. Yeah. No, he said it was going to hurt. He jabbed me with something. I don't know. Any last thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, Nuguse, I'm excited to see what he does. Is he running the Millrose Mile?
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm excited to see what Nuguse does in a full 15 or a mile. You got to think his outdoor season, he's probably going to be potentially flirting with the 330s. You got to think. And the story of this entire weekend was times are getting faster, especially in the mid-distance. We see this 5K record, the 3K. We'll talk more about the mile later on in the pod. But, like,
Nuguse entered.
Okay, so Nuguse is in the mile. So
with Hawker and Oliver Hoare.
So that's going to be a good litmus test for what this 3K means. And, who had Drew Bosley being the NCAA record holder in the 3K? On their bingo card.
Beating Neguse's record.
Assisted
by a fast Nuguse race.
But if you look at the NAU roster, you're like, Drew Bosley's going to break the 3K record.
Over
Nico Young, Abdi Haminur, Tyler Day, Matt Baxter, all the Jordy Beamish.
Yeah.
All the people that have had
that. Bosley's pretty good in high school.
He was pretty good, but like he kind of was like, everyone was like, Nico Young is the breadwinner of that group. Like he's the guy who's going to break all the records. Drew's going to be the best ever sidekick. But now he goes out there, destroys Neguse's 3K record. And now you think like maybe Nico Young is the sidekick to Drew Bosley, or maybe they're just both 1As and 2As. You know, there's not an A and a B. It's just 1A and 2A. Would you rather be a 2A or 1B?
Oh, 1B, obviously. Yeah, 1B.
No, but 2A means you're an A, though.
Yeah,
but you're
I want to hold you accountable for something.
Wait, what are you holding me accountable for?
You said before the race, you put Hobbs Kessler had to finish in the top 2 in this 3K. And if he did that, he'd make the team? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he'd make the team.
Okay. We finished 6th, but he ran 7:39. I don't think you thought 7:39 would get 6th.
And is that a U.S. junior record?
Is he still a junior?
He's not 20 yet.
He turns 20. Right?
Yeah, but he's not 20.
What do you think about? I mean, kind of just shows the fool's errand that is predicting these things.
Yeah, I mean,
if I told you he's gonna run 7:39,
and gets no,
not even the 6th place part. If I just said by the end of February he's gonna run a 7:39 3K, you'd be like, he's looking good, yeah.
But I think in general, which we'll talk about, is eventually we're gonna look at sub 740 as the new sub 750.
Yeah, 100%. Before we move on, great point from David. Nuguse had both records for 8 seconds. He had the NCAA record and the American record for 8 seconds.
That's probably the greatest 8 seconds of his life.
Yeah. It'd be awesome. He's just super pumped and then turns around and sees Drew Bosley and he's like, no, I wanted both of them. He's like LeBron.
You know how like athletes, they always like congratulate other athletes when their records are broken?
Yeah.
Because that's like the thing you do.
Yeah.
They're all lying. They're all pissed.
I mean, it would be funny. Nuguse, another really very nice guy.
Very nice.
Right.
Extremely nice.
Yeah. Very, very good dude. If like in the post-race interview, like how excited are you? Yeah, I'm over the moon to have an American record. This is a huge, huge honor for me, but ultimately a little bittersweet because of what Drew did. And just goes
hard into paint.
Yeah, Drew.
It's like, I didn't have someone break an American record in front of me when I did my NCAA record.
Pull up the race of my NCAA record.
I did it by myself.
Yeah.
He had 5 guys ahead of him.
Shouldn't even count. Why are pros running with collegians?
There needs to be an asterisk on Drew Bosley's name for the eternity.
He's like, if I could go back to college, I would.
I still have eligibility. So technically, this 7:28 should be an NCAA record.
He's running it under protest. All right. Next race I want to talk about. This one.
Keep on going down in distance.
Okay, and this one might have the biggest impact on anything we're talking about this summer. And that's Keely Hodgkinson of Great Britain.
Ooh, that was a good little diss on U.S. distance running right there.
Well,
because you're like, these 1251s and 728s are cute and all, but that's not really a big impact internationally. Unlike
no.
I mean,
not a diss. I'm just saying the matchup we want to see this summer, everybody wants to see, is that women's 8. And it could be 3 people in the mix because Mora could be in there with Athing Mu. Athing Mu was targeting the world record. Don't call it a world best. It's a world record, unless you can show me another 600 that's been run faster, at Millrose. But before she can get to it, Keely Hodgkinson goes out and does it in a the Manchester track out there, only 4 lanes, like pretty low-key type of meet. But she looked super duper sharp here, Gordon. I don't know your thoughts on this overall, but I do think if we're not going to see Mo and Hodgkinson race each other, the next best thing is dueling attempts at records.
So basically, they're doing like COVID racing, where they're like chasing each other via virtually in different races.
Well, it reminds me of Rupp and Legat, that one, or 2 winters. I don't know how long that went on for, where they were taking each other's records at like the 3,000. Now I got the 2 mile. Yeah, I'd love to have them in the same race, but if we can't, this is the next best thing. Yeah,
I mean, how much did she break it by?
A couple hundreds. It was close. She went, 1:23:41, and it was 44. So 3 100ths. Okay, what this also shows is this is definitely breakable for Athing Mu, because 600 should favor Mo given her quarter mile speed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Mo was thinking like, can I run 0.03 faster now? I think that's out of my wheelhouse.
I think she can run 1:22.
Yeah, no,
she thinks what I think. Yeah, you know what I meant.
I was making a joke.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think she actually thought it was going to be hard to run 0.03 faster.
Okay. No,
I mean, it's just cool that, now the record that Athing Mu will be breaking won't be a record from 2004. It's going to be a record from the athlete you're going to be going up against. So now there's a little more juice to the record.
It's a Hassan Gidey situation with the 10K records.
I mean, you think she's going to break it, right?
I thought she's going to break it before this. Now this just gives me even more
If
confidence.
she doesn't break it, Keely Hodgkinson, she going to be the favorite?
No.
Is this the race that's going to decide who's the favorite?
It's not going to decide the favorite, but it's a fun little winter subplot of them going after the same mark. Again, I think if Mo is ready to go, I think she's got 122 in her in this race.
She should be a lyricist. Mo ready to go? I like that.
We didn't even notice. That's how effortless it is for me. All right, you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Number 4.
Number 4? Well, we got like a...
I'm counting down. we do Monday countdowns. You put your Eagles helmet out there and we do countdowns.
Speaking of Eagles,
2 things from Monday.
Nick Foles, believe it. Great book.
On bookshelves now.
On bookshelves now from his Super Bowl victory. I don't read many books, but when I do, I read...
Is that in your top 5?
Nick Foles biographies.
Where does it rank?
Top 5.
By the way, great football results for podcasting with the Kelsey brothers both getting in because they have a good podcast that they do together.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Content always wins.
Content wins.
In the end.
Content is king.
All right. Yeah, I want to talk about Leah Hobbs. 6.98 in the 60. We know how special that sub-7 barrier is. And she does it out in Fayetteville. Wins by a huge margin over Micaiah Briscoe, who was her teammate going back to her time at LSU. So looking at that all-time list, we talked about it when we were discussing the 60 last week. 692 is the world record. I wonder if Hobbs is going to take a shot at it. Remember, Nationals Albuquerque with altitude. That meet is certified, correct?
It'll be certified.
That meet is sanctioned.
Are world records allowed to be at altitude?
Sure. It's got all the stamps.
Are they?
It's got all the stamps. Christian Coleman broke the world record.
At altitude?
In Albuquerque.
Okay.
So, Gail Devers has the American record, 6.95. Again, this is one of the things where I always get caught because I always think this record isn't going to go down, partly because people don't run it enough. But I really think Hobbs can do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, she ran literally her 2 fastest 60 marks of her career in that day, in the same day. Her PB going into that race was 7:07 from 2018 in college. So she runs 7:05 in the prelim, then 6:98. So clearly, she is in a different stratosphere that she's ever been when it comes to 60-meter racing. So that's a big drop. You got to look at if 6:98 is your new baseline for your season. Was that her season opener? No, she ran 7:16 and 7:12 2 weeks prior in Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. But still, second meet in the books, 6:98. Yep. Got to think she's probably going to do two more. She might kind of fall back and run another like 7:02 or 7:03, and then you hope maybe the final one is where she's like, all right, get into this low 6.9s.
Yeah, those 2 weekends in Albuquerque, USA's and NCAA's, you got 2 people who could, between her and Julian Alfred at the NCAA meet, who could really move up the all-time list. Yeah. So there's some opportunities. There'll be some chances before that too. With you got New Balance Indoor Grand Prix coming up, which she's running. You have the Armory, but indoor season goes by super fast, so you don't have that many opportunities to do it. So you got to really take advantage of the opportunities that you do have. We should mention the other 60 news. There was a good 60 in Karlsruhe, won by Dina Asher-Smith, broke the British record, 7.04, beat a legit field too. I mean, if she's getting her 60 time down, I think that's nothing but good signs for outdoors.
Kevin, I'm going to say something now.
You're going to tell me pump the brakes on the 60?
No, kind of.
Okay,
but
that's fine. That's fine.
I was just like, I'm realizing all these conversations we're having about the 60, especially in the sprinting area, we're not going to really be able to solve it because there's no world championship.
Yeah, it's just going to kind of end.
It's just going to end. They're like, oh, I ran it, and then there's never going to be like a matchup. Everyone's like, oh, let's see Aaliyah Hobbs go against Dina Asher-Smith, go up against another star college kid, put them all together. Like, we're never going to see Julian Alfred race Aaliyah Hobbs.
Right.
And they're the top 2 runners right now in the world.
We're gonna settle for virtual racing. Yeah. But that's just how it's going to be this year.
It's kind of like, you kind of wish. That's one thing that's great about World Indoors is you had like that Christian Coleman versus Lamont Jacobs moment. And we're not going to have that. So it's all going to be like, you did that. So everyone's kind of just chasing top 10 marks. But Aaliyah Hobbs, she's going to need to do something. She's going to need to break the world record for me to ever consider her breaking up to winning a world title.
There's a difference between 60 and 100. Yeah. And we never know, like if Shelly Ann really took the 60 seriously.
She'd run 6.9s in her sleep.
One of the 10 seasons in her career, 15 seasons in her career, like she probably could have taken this to a whole different level.
But still good, impressive.
You can even look up the 60-meter splits, right, on some of those Olympic races or World Championship races, and they're pretty fast.
She turns 27 in a month.
Yeah. No, listen, it's not gonna make you a favorite. It's not going to win you any medals or anything like that, but you'd rather have a good indoor season than
it's going to make you the number 4 segment on our podcast.
Speaking of which, number 5 was tough. Number 5 is wide open because then we got underrated.
Wait, we ranked these? I didn't know these segments were
I didn't rank them I was just like the first, the second, the third, the fourth. Maybe one day we'll rank them, but no. Kincaid's 5 on the all-time list is higher up than Neguse's 3,
but no one runs the 5 indoors.
Right, and he's just like, and Hutchinson set a world record, but it was in a 600, and I don't know. It's just complicated. But this race I wanted to bring up, we talked about it a lot, the women's mile from the Dr. Sander invite. Alicia Monson gets to win 4:23, Whitney Morgan second, 4:23.9, and then Tuohy breaks the collegiate record, runs 4:24. Talk first about Monson real quick. Kind of controlled the race, ran it how you would expect it. Again, she's a 5 and 10,000 meter runner, Alicia Monson is, right? So the fact that she's cranking out these really quick miles, I think, is a good sign for her, using the indoor season to sharpen and sharpen and sharpen. I'm really fascinated to see what she does outdoors.
Can we show the beginning of this interview again on the screen?
Why is that?
It's just so funny seeing a bunch of people with cell phones, including our contributor, just like following Monson down the steps of the armory. It's like, so when you watch it with no audio, it's just like, what's going on here? There's just guys with cell phones in the face of Monson.
I think she was on the way to cool down. So
eventually she stops and does like the normal interview to like get out of.
Yeah, there's a warm up area right there.
Yeah, but like it is a funny thing where like why is cameras on while you're walking down the steps?
Well, why does Chavez going full Nathan for you with you see that he had like the tablet around his neck. I don't know what's going on there.
Track and field journalists are weird.
I got to get out. Well, you got to get back out there. You got to get it back. You haven't been out there in a while. Maybe that's the new trend.
I don't know.
The new technology. But maybe it was a rehearsal. We don't know. Go ahead.
4:23 makes sense based off of what you said. You thought she'd run much faster.
I thought she'd go faster, but
I didn't think so. I think she will run faster in her next one. But being fast in the mile is really good for Monson, because she's not looking to make the 1,500 meter team. She's looking to make 5K and 10K teams. And typically our best 5 and 10K runners are really good milers. Mm-hmm. And so she's recognized that, and she's gotten better and gotten more speed, because you need the speed if you want to go up against the top international women. But I think it's a good start for her. I wouldn't say it's an A+ or A, but I also wouldn't say it's a B or C.
I think it just happens
it's just like a
it's like a training run for her.
It's just like good.
Yeah.
It doesn't even deserve a grade.
But
it's like a gradeless performance. And you're like, oh, does that mean she did bad? And I'm like, no, doesn't mean she did good. No, it doesn't mean she did good either. So what did she do? She was gradeless.
I'm so confused as to. All right, what about Tuohy getting the collegiate record? Another person who's going to be probably doing longer stuff. Right?
Yeah, Tuohy gets a grade. Tuohy gets an A.
An A, yeah, for sure.
4:24. I kind of predicted that she'd be about a second off of Monson, didn't I? I think I did.
I'll have to find the tape on that.
I think I did. I think I correctly predicted exactly Katelyn Tuohy's time.
You always remember what you get right and never what you get wrong.
Well, people remember what I get wrong all the time. There's people on the internet for that. But yeah, Tuohy, 4:24, season opener, breaking the record. Typically, we see a lot of times in these NCAA record attempts, they happen later in the indoor season. They don't always happen early on in the season, especially in the distance events. So what Bosley did in the 3K is kind of not normal. What Katelyn Tuohy did here in the mile, not really normal, but it's a result of Tuohy having the opportunity to be in a race with someone like Alicia Monson, who's going to make it an honest effort. Tuohy had to do none of the work. Like, she's like just surrounded by great talent who's all going to be running in the 420s, and she got to benefit from that. And then I just think, all right, this is a great start, because the story of Tuohy is going to be, will she or won't? I mean, maybe it's not the story, but like, she's kind of done enough in the NCAA world, right? She's won the NCAA title, the cross country titles. She's won track. Now she's breaking a record indoor. Eventually, you're going to be like, the next step for Tuohy isn't anything NCAA related. It is making world teams related. And so this is a good start for her to potentially make her first world team at the end of the year. Again, you got to have speed. Tuohy having speed is a good sign. What do you think she's going to do in NCAAs, though? Do you think she's going to do 5K, 3K, DMR, mile? What 2 of those 4 is she doing?
I think she'll run the DMR because they'll have a chance in the DMR. So that would mean, what, DMR 3K?
So no 5K or mile?
Just totally guessing. I don't know.
But what do you think?
Yeah.
Don't guess. Tell me what you believe. I don't want to guess.
What do
Kevin's guesses. I want Kevin's beliefs.
What do you believe and guess at the same time?
I think she's going to do if you're still listening.
That was an uncomfortably long pause. It's like people are checking to make sure their connection didn't go out there. That was, you pushed it too far.
Well, we could put an ad. We'll put an ad in that break.
Stop.
So we'll play the Whopper song, the Burger King commercial. Whopper. No. I want to say that she'll do the mile, but now that I really think about it, she doesn't need to. She broke the record. All right, cool. She doesn't need an NCAA indoor mile title. It's going to be DMR. That's going to be more rewarding, I think, for her to be able to anchor a potential title with the team and get celebrated, and that's more fun than celebrating your own individual title. So I think she'll do mile. She'll do DMR 3K. That makes most sense.
So after all that, you just took my prediction.
Yep.
Okay.
DMR 3K.
All right. Let's go to our weekly tradition.
Which is going to be a kind of a bummer. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up later in the pod.
Later in the pod. Well, we're going to the end of the pod here.
Yeah.
In the last 20 minutes. Underrated performance of the weekend.
We keep on putting a hard time limit on our podcast.
Yep. Makes it better.
Why do you do that?
Makes it better.
It's okay if we go a little few minutes over.
Nah.
Or a little few minutes under.
Do you have a nominee for underrated performance of the weekend?
You go first.
And I'm defining underrated as anything we haven't really talked about yet. So these could actually be completely appropriately rated. But I got Lucia Stafford. We were talking about the 1K, Ajay Wilson versus Sage Herta-Klecker, which Wilson won, but we're talking about that as the potential women's 1K where there was going to be a fast time. They didn't get the American record in that race. But over at BU, Lucia Stafford ran 2:33. That was she's Canadian, so that's a North American record, so continental.
That's a classic way for us Americans to like take credit. Oh yeah, Canadian record. Okay, that's our record too. It's North American record. You're part of us.
Okay, well, what should I say? Canadian record plus it's faster than any American? I want to give credit. How do I properly give credit here? It's fast.
Feel like calling it North American record though is like a way for us to claim
to be like, oh yeah, we're
part of that.
Canadian record.
But then say
and faster. That happens to be faster than the American record.
Yeah.
How about that? Why say something in 5 words when I can say it in 15?
How about we say...
That's what I was always taught.
Is she married?
I don't know.
If she marries an American, she is soon to become the American record holder provided by citizenship.
That's not how...
Is that how it works?
That's not how it works.
Can you marry into a record?
I don't,
like if like Fred Curley married a person from Japan, does he then hold the Japanese national record?
No.
In the 100?
No.
But he could get Japanese citizenship, right?
Maybe he does, but the performance where he ran the fast time, he was American.
Doesn't transfer?
If Joel Embiid at the deadline gets traded to the Bucks and the Bucks win a title, do the Sixers get a title? He's no longer on that team.
You know who does that? New England Patriots fans with Tom Brady. They all claim Tom Brady's Tampa win as their win.
You shouldn't judge it based on that. All right, another one I got.
No, but 2:33 is quick. That fastest in America. regardless of North or South America. No.
Jesus.
Regardless of Canada or Mexico or U.S. Do you think she could be a sneaky wild card to be top 3 at Worlds?
That's a fast time.
It's fast.
That's quick. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens outdoors. All right, the other one I had, Chris Bailey of Arkansas ran 45:09 in Fayetteville. He's a senior, a transfer, but he beat Sean Burrell by about 1.2 seconds, and also ran the 4x4. Arkansas ran 3:04 in that race. He competed for Tennessee last year, didn't make the indoor or outdoor 400, like at the NCAA championships, didn't even make the meet. The last time he made the meet individually was back in 2021. He ran the quarter, went out in the prelims. I mean, that's a 45:0.
Indoors is quick.
Yeah, that's what are you pulling up the all-time list right now? And before Tennessee, he was at Mississippi Valley, so this will be his third school. Also, I'm hoping these are legit cross-country results because his cross-country results are on here too. At Mississippi Valley, he had to run cross-country.
So 45 what? Oh, what?
07?
Yeah, so it's just outside of the top 10 all-time.
Yeah.
So,
dude, look at this. He's got the cross results from when he was at Mississippi Valley. Isn't that awesome?
What did you run at cross-country?
I mean, 8K, 32:02.
There you go.
I mean, not bad, right?
Not bad. For a 400-meter runner?
Yeah.
I'd take that. Take that any day.
Ran the 2018 All-State Sugar Bowl Cross Country Festival, which was a 4.828K.
Place is good.
47. I mean, he beat people.
He ran at the Brooks Memphis Twilight?
He beat people.
Probably got that meet. I was probably at that meet.
In 2018?
Yeah.
You were not at that meet.
I was probably at that meet.
You were not at that meet.
I
was here for this.
Okay. I wasn't at that meet.
You stopped traveling a while ago, which is why you don't know about people wearing iPads walking around doing interviews. All right.
You ready for my underrated performance of the week?
Yeah, and then I can run through some other ones.
Let's give a big shout out to Kyle Garland of Georgia. Heptathlon score, 6,415 points. You know what that ranks all time in collegiate history?
Third.
Number 2.
Oh, I was
behind Ashton Eaton.
Okay.
Ashton Eaton had 6,499. He did 6,415. The second best mark before that was Aiden Owens from last year, who did 6,272. So he's like much closer to the collegiate record than he is to the second person. Very impressive there for Kyle Garland. The low key, the men's multis, very good this year. Because you got Kyle Garland, you got Aiden Owens, and then you have like a few other guys who are in there. So like Garland versus Owens at NCAAs is going to be fun to watch. Because Owens is good.
Yeah, those are two.
Owens made the world team. So
two big names, too. Like, people have heard of those guys.
And they're going to be important for team points because Arkansas and Georgia are both in the team battle, which will be cool. So that's one of my underrated performances.
All right, what else? You want to talk about the one that you actually put on the list that we have prepped to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Washington. They did something incredible. They had 8 of their runners break 4 minutes in the mile in the same race. There is an unattached athlete there, Sam Ellis, but he has outdoor eligibility. So he's on the roster for Washington. So 8 of their athletes ran 4. And you're like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of 358s. No. They ran 351, 352, 52, 53, 53, 55, 57, 59. That is insane. That is ludicrous. There was a time when that top 4 of 51, 52, 52, 53, if that was the top 4 in the NCAA for a year, everyone would be like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest year of NCAA running. We have 4 guys running 351, 352, 52, and 53. It's going to be the most incredible NCAA final we've ever seen. Now we got that happening just within their own team in the same year. This isn't an all-time list for the school history marks. This is just this isn't even a season's best marks. This is just one race. Like,
man,
it would be crazy if this was an NCAA. There's just so much uniqueness to it. Like, if it all happened in the same race.
It did.
That's insane.
Do you remember the rule we made last year, though, about the mile?
I do.
What was it?
Stop getting excited about it.
No, you can get excited, but what does the number on the clock need to say?
55.
Correct. So let's just cover up. I mean, congrats.
They still had 5 guys break 355.
Yeah.
They had 5 guys break 354.
Yeah, that's what you should say.
Okay.
It shouldn't be 8 breaking 4.
Yeah, but, I feel bad for Aiden, Ryan, Aaron,
congrats to them.
Luke
They're
Hauser.
awesome. They're great runners.
But it's kind of messed up. Say Luke Hauser, you on 355, and you're the 6th best runner on your team. That's insane.
Yeah, it's still fast. I'm not saying it's not fast. I'm just saying the times you're talking about, the era that you're talking about is gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's been gone for a while.
Yes.
Right? And we live in a world where multiple high school boys are breaking 4 every year. We need to be talking about 355 as that number that counts. But yeah, I mean, Joe Wascom, 351.90. That's moving, right? I mean, I guess it's just strength in numbers there, too.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's like, man, one of these guys is going to prevail and run something insane because they all are around 353, 354 shape.
So I put this up. I was like, dear UW track, please send 2 4x-mile teams to Penn Relays. Andy Powell has some history of going to the Penn Relays when he was coaching at Oregon. This will be a fun team to watch, seeing them put together a team of 351, 52, 52, 53. And if there's an injury, a 53 guy on reserve.
And somehow
they're still
they'll win and run 1602.
No, they run like 1612. That's what they run. No, but I mean, it gets me excited about 4x-mile potentially because there's other teams out there who have 4 guys who are all broken 4 this year. There's probably going to be, on average, I bet you there's going to be at least 6 schools that will have at least 4 sub-4 guys this year.
Yeah. So it neutralizes it though.
Yeah, but 351 is different from 358.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. We should stop lumping them together. They're both sub-4, but they're also
feel like you're
both sub.
Ruining this segment on
I let you
UW's
go for
track.
I let you go on for long enough. I waited until we had enough positivity to where I could I wanted to remind you. It's great. It's an awesome accomplishment. I'm just saying, when we talk about 4, it's not the same. I mean, where's 4 going to put you in the NCAA this year?
Oh, right now? How many people have broken 4?
Yeah.
Guess.
Already? 50?
46. We still have a whole,
Right. So how many people I mean, it's going to be over 100, right?
Yeah, how many did it last year?
So saying one team has 6 guys in the top or 8 guys in the top 100, I mean, that definitely is a show of impressive depth. But if you went back historically,
let's see how many people broke 4 last year. Can you guess how many people broke 4 last year?
No, I'll say 100. Actually, I'll go less. I'll go 90. Did I get it?
God damn, it's 90.
Exactly?
Yeah. Devin Pancake, remember him?
Oh, but that's conversion too, right?
No, that doesn't include. I'm including. Yeah, 90 people.
I do remember Devin Pancake.
Isaac Green did not break 4.
Yeah.
He's from Washington.
Yeah.
And he's not even on this list.
Yeah.
He ran 4 flat. They have another guy who run 4 flat.
All I'm doing is trying to put some perspective. So if no more guys from UW break 4 this year, and you have 8 of the 90 are from one team, that's obviously impressive. But I would be like, okay,
8 of 90, not 8 of 20.
Well, what I would do is I would scroll up and get all right, but how many do they have in the top 20? Okay,
right now they have 4 of the top 4.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the year, that's not going to be the case. But they might have 4.
No, it might be. How many guys are going to run 353 or faster?
That's true. Well, because people are just running to qualify. Yeah. But say they end up with 4 of the top 10. That is what matters. It's not that, then we had 4 other guys between 11 and 90.
Okay.
I'll
just say Sam Ellis and Luke Hauser and Aaron and Aiden Ryan, send all of your grievances to Kevin's inbox, not mine, because I am impressed.
I'm impressed with sub 4. I didn't say I wasn't. I just said we need to look at it in the current context
and
how fast everybody's running.
Here. This is great.
I'm not the villain. You know who the villain is? Whoever signed this helmet. Who is this again?
Oh, it's not Brandon Graham. It's Derek Barnett.
You didn't even know.
Who is injured.
You didn't even know.
He's out.
Also,
he's out for the season.
The staging right here is the best staging we've ever had, and it's for a football team.
Yeah.
It looks. I'm looking at the YouTube feed right now.
Looks good.
Yeah, it actually looks.
So we should sell this ad space.
Nico's doing a great. Well, Nick Foles is getting so. You didn't even play for the team, and was he on the Colts or something now?
Yeah, he's on the Colts.
All right. Comments from YouTube. Tampa Eagle says we're forgetting Abby Steiner.
I'm not done with my underrated performances of the week.
All right. One more underrated performance of the week. Go ahead, Gordon.
It's 2. It's Abby Steiner and Shamir Little. Shamir Little always finding a way to be involved in other people's performances by either beating them or coming second to them, because Shamir, as you know, was in that 600 with Britton Wilson. Now here's Shamir. He's getting second to Abby Steiner. Abby Steiner runs 50.5. Very impressive. A lot better than that over-under we set a week prior where she ran 51.7 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Clearly she was just wanted to get my prediction wrong, and then a week later she's like, actually I can break 51.7.
Yeah,
I can run 50.5.
She was tired of you predicting that she's going to win like 12 gold medals and break a world record every time
I've never
she
said
runs.
that.
She wanted to keep the expectations
like, stop overhyping it.
Exactly. You're doing too much.
But yeah, very impressive. I mean, Steiner's probably still focused entirely on the 2 and the 1. This is probably just very like indoor-y, just change it up. But man, it would be fun to have like we don't run the 400 race where you get Sydney, Athingmo, Abby Steiner, Britton Wilson, few others where we're like, none of us are running the 400 officially, but we're just going to do it for one race and one race only.
There should be going along with that, there should be a year where the goal is just like out and out demolition of the record book indoors. Right? Yeah. And it's just like, all right, what's the world record indoors in the women's 400? 49.59. All right. Let's all work together as a track and field community.
And just break it.
And let's just get, what sort of race do we need? How many times do we need to let this person or that person run to get this done? Let's work together. Let's figure it out. All right, next one. Let's just go down the list.
Is it legal to break a indoor record in the summer?
Yeah, I think so, because that New Balance team broke the indoor or set some indoor DMR. Now that's like an unofficial record, but they did that in April when they opened the track.
So why don't we just have them all? Why don't we just host USA Outdoors indoors?
Yeah.
Oh,
didn't I have some? I had some stupid idea about that, where it's like you have an indoor meet and an outdoor meet at the same time or something like that, like where the indoor facility is next to outdoors. Just go in, run a 60, and then come out, run a quarter.
All right, let's talk about. We have some controversy here. I'm keeping track of this over-under competition we have going out. We're now 3 weeks in. You had a big lead on me, but I have closed it significantly. Right now, your record is 10-6-1. My record is 7-9-1.
Yep.
I'm just a measly. Is that the word?
Yep.
Measly 3 games back from you. Looking over the 127. So you scroll down to 127. Nico, the last 6 entries there. Herta Klecker over under first 1.5 place. I thought she would win. She got second, so you got that one right.
Yep.
You 5K winner 13:05. I got that one right. You thought that would be slow. I thought it would be fast. Monson mile 420. I thought it would be over. You thought under. I got that right. BU 3K winner. I thought that would be under. You thought it would be over. I got that one right.
What was the time?
7:28.
No, 7. What was the
7:37.
Okay.
And then Charles Hicks, which I think I think he might not be 100%. The guy fell apart. He ran 7:53 in a race where the winner run 7:43.
Is it Klinger?
Klinger won.
Yep.
Charles Hicks might not be the Charles Hicks we saw during cross country season, which is a big blow for Stanford. I mean, we're going to have to wait for one more race, but
he just ran Eurocross.
I know, but it looked really out of character. It looked out of character. I'm not going to say. Well, anyway, he doesn't run fast. I thought he'd run fast. You got that one right. So, but we have some controversy here. Karlsruhe 60-meter winner. The over-under was set for 7:04.
Yeah.
The time that was run was 7:04. We both put the over.
Yeah.
But we get that wrong.
Wait, we both put the over?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought I was going to make up ground.
Oh, so now you can change your mind?
Care.
Oh, no.
I don't care.
No, because you told me.
Why did you care then?
Because it's the principle.
Oh. Here's also why I don't care. Even if you had under and you were going to make up some ground here or on this, I was so far off on the 5K and the 3K and that mile. I don't deserve it. I'm going to be honest.
Right, good. No.
I was just minutes off, basically. If you add up my total time off.
You got lucky with the Hicks one because
I got lucky with that one. Obviously, the women's 1K. That was all skill on my part. But I'm just sort of happy to survive and advance here.
But here's the thing. I
was so far off.
When we set the over-under for a time, and that time is run, the over does not win.
You're saying it should be a push from now on?
It's a push. If the over-under is 13.05, now if it's 13.05.01, then yeah. But like if it's down to the 100th, the same.
Yeah.
It's a push.
Yeah.
No matter if you said over-under. Because they ran 7.04. We said they would run over 7.04.
Yeah.
They ran exactly 7.04.
So Jordan asked in the chat, what's the 7, 9, and 1 at the bottom? So he's gotten 7 right, 9 wrong, and then 1 tie, which was the 7.04. So if you were betting solely with Gordon, you'd be losing money. And if you're betting with me, you'd be making money. Because I'm 10, what am I?
You're 10, 6, and 1.
10, 6, and 1. So.
But here's the thing. If you keep betting with me, you will eventually win the money. If you keep betting with you, you'll start losing it.
No, it's not true at all. So, yeah. These are the over-under picks each week. That was week 3.
Yeah.
Right? So, 51 to go. Things are tightening up.
It's fun. I get excited when I get it right. I'm always like, yeah. Like, I actually probably was more excited about getting it being faster at 13.05 than it being 12.51 American record. I was like, oh, okay, I got that one right. It felt good to get it right.
Anthony says, in row 1 of the spreadsheet, put Kevin and Gordon's name in the column that corresponds to them, and then freeze the top row. Right now, it's a tad confusing. Gordon's going to fix this right now. Here we go.
Wait. How do we do that? Freeze?
You know how to. Gordon, didn't he say before he was an Excel expert? You said you won an Excel competition, I believe.
Boom.
But he said put our names in there? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Do the scroll. Show I just froze it. We're good. Now you can scroll. A little too much scrolling. There you go.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Thank you. Whoever said that in the chat.
Ask and ye shall receive. All right. Tampico, what races do you want us to talk about? He said talk about the long races and no respect 800 and under. We talked about
you're reading like Bailey. An old comment when we were talking about.
No, it's not. I'm up to date.
Let's talk about the Eagles football game.
No, we're good on that. We're good on that. That was extremely underwhelming.
What?
Just these professional sporting events, you realize how they kind of hang on one sort of a few people's health. And just it reminded me of college game when the quarterback goes out and you're like, oh, that's it. And didn't they used to say there used to be you used to be able to have an extra quarterback on your roster for emergencies or something? And
I don't know.
I felt bad.
I am in line to get my heart broken a 3rd time in a row in the past 3 months with the Phillies, the Union, now the Eagles.
Union. I know you're really dialed in on the Union. Can you name a Union player?
No.
Okay, I thought you were gonna name something else for how you got your heart broken, but not sports related.
No. But then if the Eagles lose the Super Bowl, they'll be going 0 for 3 in championships. And then if the Sixers make the finals, I'm going to be a mess if that goes down in flames. Because my boy Joel Embiid just lit up.
Yeah, you guys are priming for the Silver City?
I'm just saying, you have to admit that Joel Embiid, Denver Nuggets game, that probably changed your mind on all right, the Sixers are legit.
You spent
they beat the number
a
1
couple
team in the
years
West.
ago. You led every conversation with. You have to admit the Sixers are good. That was all you wanted. I was like, well, they need to do something in the playoffs, and I'm still waiting for them to do something.
I'm going to a Spurs game next weekend. I'm going to miss the pod because of it.
Which day?
Friday, this week.
You're not going to be here this week because you're going to go to
this Friday. I'm going to a Spurs game. What?
Can't get on me for being. I get criticized when I'm sick.
Because I have to get on we're driving at noon for a night.
You want to move? Why don't we move the show up then?
We're gonna have to move the show up on Friday.
You're not just not gonna go because you're going. You gotta have a pod, man.
Yeah, but I have to go to this game.
No, you don't have to go. They're playing the Spurs.
No, but the bus leaves at noon.
Oh my gosh!
I gotta get on the bus.
Yeah.
I just discovered that I have to this.
Okay.
Do you want to come?
No. I want to do the pod.
You don't watch the Spurs versus Sixers?
No.
You're a huge Spurs fan.
I'm good this year, though. I know how it's going to go. They're developing a lot of young players, which is great. Great to see. All right.
Next week's pod, not next week's.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday's pod, we're going to reveal.
You're going to reveal?
I'm going to reveal the actual, factual, realistical, poetical NCAA rankings. You excited?
Yeah, how deep? Top 50?
No, top event? 8. Top 8 every event.
So UW, it's just going to be UW?
No. There's going to be an analysis to it. Okay. It's not going to just be descending order lists. I'm not dumb.
All right. Whoa.
I put thought into my rankings. So those come out Wednesday. And then I was thinking, when do we release our USA rankings?
Oof.
Should we just wait for indoor season to be over?
Yeah, probably.
And then so like mid-March, we'll have the official.
I mean, right now, if you were tasked, as I tasked myself with last year, what would be your US 60 men's rankings? And what would be the point of having them? Is my question.
Yeah.
You're going to run once or twice, and that's it. NCAA, they're going to run a whole season. It makes sense. And they're trying to compete. So I don't see a lot of point in doing the US stuff or the pro stuff.
You know what I did the other day?
You took the case off your phone and like a whole new phone. Yeah, I read your tweet. You need to have kids already, man, because you're like got the dad jokes like
this is
already unlocked.
My phone feels new
very
because I took the case off.
Dad joke.
This is like a 5-year-old phone, but now it feels like it's a day-year-old because
I'd put a case on it before it breaks. All right.
If it breaks, it's fine.
Thanks to Nico.
Take your case off your phone. Feels brand new.
Thanks to Nico for producing. I'm gonna leave it there. FloTrack Podcast at gmail.com. Is that the music? What was that?
The music back.
Oh, that was dramatic. All right.
Like, subscribe.
See you guys Wednesday.